up, everybody? Frank Valkyrie, welcome to the channel. How you guys doing? Let me know in the comment section. It matters because if you're well, I'm well, and we can keep going, even though my voice is still with a little bit of coughing. So, very quickly, some of you asking me always why I got interested in this trial. I don't know if you know, but I followed this thing since the beginning of the trial. So, with you. Mostly I was for 6 weeks on the couch. We did all the lives that we could do, especially towards the end. And also we followed all other YouTubers, checking papers, reacted to all the evidence that was not admitted to the trial. So we're very deep into it. And still, also with unsealed document, we went over what was new, what was not, what needed to be reminded, and we're still doing that. Of course, we're also doing a little bit of speculation, rumors, because of daily content, but at the same time, we also self-correct. I will continue to do this because it's interesting from a point of view also of where we're heading in society, like where you see those two camps, one that has won and it's Johnny Depp, and all his fans and people believing in the truth, seeker of the truth. And on the other side, you have this camp of ideologists, somebody embracing an ideology, whether that being like a female movement, a Me Too movement, or some shape or form, some kind of niche, whatever kind of ideology attached to a movement. And it seems like then on this other side, a lot of people are in love with the ideology, but not with facts. And to me, that doesn't make any sense, especially when, you throw around things like believe all women, um, as if you can believe anybody all the time. You cannot believe all men either. But a lot of those organizations seems, again, to be more busy with the ideology of by default supporting women rather than believing the real survivors or the victim despite of the gender. So in that way, I got interested because this seems to be like a very good example of how toxic actually ideologies can become when you by default need to support women, by default you need to support men, and honestly it makes no sense whatsoever, because if you don't base things on facts, then the ideology is corrupted. That's very simple in my book. Let me know if you agree with that. Anyway, in regard to speculation, you know that there are some YouTubers, including here Joseph Morris, which they've been covering some of the speculation rumors. In this case, when we saw Amber in Israel, there were rumors that she went there to marry her girlfriend Barlow to avoid paying JD. But then, I made this other video where I discussed briefly about it. I think it's not real because most likely in Israel they don't allow same-sex couple to be married or to marry there. So I don't think that will work out. So that perhaps they have to marry somewhere else and being already as an official couple inside the country may be recognized. I don't know if that's possible in Israel. I have a little bit of slight doubt about it, but there is something here on the video of Joseph Morris which I thought to be interesting, which is making the point that all of a sudden you see H having the cross here, um, and somehow wanting to support and show off her affiliation or I mean faith. I don't know exactly if she was Jewish. I don't think she's Jewish, but here you have this sense where she's sort of preparing the terrain of justifying the moves afterward. And in a way, it makes sense because that's exactly what narcissists would do. They would sort of create that idea for the partner that they understand you and they really understand you and they share what you share. So that's sort of the romantic phase, it seems, of the real narcissist. We'll see where it leads. Anyway, enough talk about this. I think the rumors of Israel are not real, but then again, also by Morris was reported allegedly this email, whatever, of actually a wedding of AH and Barlow in Australia, if I'm on Bondi Beach. Correct me if I'm wrong. I already see comments where they say this might not be the beach. There is people stating that from the last post of her girlfriend, of Amber's girlfriend, Barlow, that she was really in Australia for whatever, some kind of podcast, work, interview, some of in that direction. And then all of a sudden, this picture came out. Obviously, if I have to tell you the truth, to me, this is more of a room or a Photoshop than anything else so far. This is a very bad picture. Looks like it's been taken from a million miles away, cropped in, I don't know how much. You can definitely not make anything out. And this sort of blonde hair and like this smaller silhouette, I don't know, might be resembling those two people. But I find it also interesting that they would choose Australia to do so, where she's at the moment being investigated still in regards of the dog issue. So if you ask me, there is still a lot of uncertainty here, and I think honestly it's not real. But you know, until we don't get better pictures and a real statement, of course, to me it's not real. But also I have to report on this. I have to share this with you because this is going around, and we will rectify, and also we will put it in the comment section on the description in case this turns out to be a Photoshop pictures. From a point of view of being a smart thing, you know, I would say it would be smart to marry and to go somewhere else, especially if it's true that Israel does not recognize, the jury and the verdict of other countries. That would mean that as a resident, of course, she has no burden to pay JD. So in that way, actually, will make a lot of sense. But again, you have to find a loophole to do such a things. And perhaps if it wasn't the case, maybe people and YouTubers gave her the idea of doing so. But anyway, I think those people they do uh, try to manipulate the system already beforehand. And I've said this before also with the appeal and all those things that they can do because it's allowed to them to do it, probably just to buy time. Just to buy time, perhaps to make those steps. Anyway, we'll see where this leads. This picture is going around. Some people here are saying like this is most likely not Bondi Beach because you can see the mountains. Um, so there is already confusion. But at the same time, if I have to tell you that this makes sense, it will make sense. As a narcissist point of view, you need another victim. You need somebody else that basically does the work for you, and in this case, if it's this Barlow person for the moment, which is going to supply for herself for legal papers, especially if they manage to bring her in Israel, for instance, then it will make absolute a ton of sense. That's the doing of a narcissist. But again, just wrap this up. Let's wrap this up. This is all speculation as far as we don't get real picture or real statement. So for the moment, I'm gonna call BS on this. But please, if I'm wrong, just let me know. Might be true. I have no idea. We have only this to go by, and some other YouTubers claiming this. So I will definitely from my side, called BS at the moment. So let me know your thoughts on this, guys. Thank you so much for your support, as always. Take care of yourself. Always spread love.